Hey, what is going on, everybody out there? Welcome to the Koalition.com's React Podcast. This is episode 26 of the React Podcast, and we got some crazy news to talk about today. Konami is releasing a brand new Metal Gear game, but before we get into the real meat of this discussion, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are excited about, we got a bunch of people with us today. First, I'm Jake James Lugo, Senior Editor here at the Koalition.com. I'm joined by Gary Swaby. What's going on, my boy?
Hey, what's up, man?
What's happening, man? We got a lot to discuss. We also got Mr. Tony Polanco. Tony, how's it going?
It's going great, man. I'm ready to take the gloves off today, man. Let's go.
All right, and then we also got Mr. Emilio Lopez. Emilio, what's going on, my dude?
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? Thanks for having me on.
Nice, nice. So, in case you guys don't know what exactly the big news that we're referring to is, okay, because it just happened today. Like, we all woke up thinking we were going to have a good day today, and then all of a sudden this happened. I'm like, okay, let me go get the extra bold cup of coffee for this one. We're going to need it. So, basically, Konami is releasing a game called Metal Gear Survival. Okay, it's coming out next year for all consoles, PlayStation, or Metal Gear Survive. Yeah, sorry, Metal Gear Survive. Okay, I'm all tongue-twisted with this damn game.
No, I don't blame you, bro. I don't blame you, bro. Ooh. Anyway, go on.
Okay, but what is it? What was I saying? So it's called Metal Gear Survive. All right, it's kind of like an alternate universe slash story slash prequel a little bit to Metal Gear Solid 5. It takes place like an alternate dimension and such. It involves zombie survival. Okay, it's pretty much throwing zombies into Metal Gear. It's coming out next year, 2017, for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and I'm pretty sure PC, I believe it is. It says on the press release. It's going to have 4-player co-op, both online and I believe also possibly offline. It's going to have a whole bunch of, co-op play mechanics, something involving also stealth, because it is Metal Gear, and somehow they got to relate all this to stealth. I don't know how, but apparently that's going to be a thing. And other than that, we have this trailer that's just, again, kind of just throwing stuff at you. Nothing really kind of like too detailed, nothing too kind of like divulged about what this game actually is. But bottom line, the internet reacted to this. And pretty much a lot of people are kind of upset about it. Some people feel it's an insult to the Metal Gear franchise as well as to Metal Gear fans. Some people are kind of indifferent. Some people are optimistic. But we got a whole array of opinions about this game. But let's go down the panel here. Gary, give me some impressions and thoughts on Metal Gear Survive.
Yeah, I woke up and saw the news, and I was very surprised. I was like, "Whoa, what the hell is this?" And then, yeah, in my rich voice that was, and yeah, I'm just surprised that they decided to do this now, because like the fact that it's being announced now means that they were planning this like months ago. Like it's already been in development, and it's still so soon after the split with Kojima, So, and I mean, as far as the actual trailer itself, and what was shown. I'm not too impressed by it. I mean, it seems like a safe option for them, to do this sort of game, because they don't have to kind of use any of the lore that Kojima created. Like they can just go and do their new thing inside the world. But yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. I'm just a bit iffy about it at the moment. What about you guys?
Yeah, what about the rest of you guys? Tony, give me some thoughts on Metal Gear Survive.
Oh, man. All right. So just like everybody else, I woke up to this. People, okay, my Twitter was already like blowing up before I even woke up. And what the hell's going on? I was like, yo, Tony, you see? I'm like, see what Konami's doing with Metal Gear? I'm like, oh God, no! Please don't tell me they're doing what I think they're doing. Okay, because I knew they were gonna do a new Metal Gear, but I didn't know it was gonna be this soon, right? So. I had some work to do, so I didn't get to see it right away. I actually saw it just minutes before we got into this chat room, so I see it. And what do I see before me, right? A fucking zombie game, as if we don't have enough of those, right? So this game, it looks like it takes place right after Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. They go into some alternate dimension where there's zombies and you got to shoot. I'm like, okay, the corpse of fucking Metal Gear hasn't even been, it's still warm, basically, and Konami's just digging it up and just trotting it out there in the most unoriginal, ham-fisted way possible, man. Like like you said, JJ, as a some people are offended by this. I'm offended by this. As a Metal Gear fan, this is fucking insulting. You could have at least tried to do a Metal Gear game that was at least trying to honor the other games. No, let's just make a stupid, shitty zombie game, man. It is so. I mean, look at the reactions to the video, right? Like, by the way, I'm containing myself because I'm actually very, very mad. Look at the reactions to the video. 3,000 likes, 26,000 dislikes. The
It's not
internet.
going to stop there,
Yeah.
too. It's going to be
It
more
is.
by the end of today.
By the way, that's just at the time of this recording, people. By the time this shit is done, it's probably gonna be even more than that. This looks fucking terrible. Another shitty. Look, why are they trying to make a fucking like Resident Evil game? Are you kidding me? We have that shit already. Give me a Metal Gear game. It's fucking bullshit, man. Fuck this game and fuck Konami. That's my
Here's the
thoughts.
thing, like, because you mentioned Resident Evil and stuff. Okay, the way I look at it is that it kind of reminds me like they're trying to turn Metal Gear into Call of Duty Zombies. Like I didn't think Resident Evil when I first saw this. I thought Call of Duty Zombies. Part of it had to do because I saw the Infinite Warfare Zombies thing like not so long ago.
Yeah, that's
but
right,
that was
yeah.
my immediate reaction, you know, or at least my thoughts when I first saw everything that was happening in the trailer. But before I get more into that, you know, Manny, let us know what you think about this, because you know about that Metal Gear, you know about Konami, you know about all this stuff. What's up?
Well, you know the way I'm not as angry as Tony is on this. I'm a little bit indifferent on it actually, because I look at it, I'm just like, all right, I understand why the direction they're going this direction. I mean, it's like, you know, no matter what they do, even if it is, you know, even if they decided to do something in the Kojima, you know, verse, it'll still be scrutinized. I think it's interesting that they're deciding to go with something different, where it's just like totally supernatural and silly. But yeah, I mean, it just looks to me like they're just trying to go with something else, and I'm not angry. I'm not anything. It's just like, all right, sure, you know.
Yeah. So for me personally, I'm not angry outright like a lot of people are. There are angry people on the internet. You know, it's the internet. People get angry about everything, you know.
Mhm.
And this one, I kind of give them the nod for understanding why they're a little pissed, especially if you're a hardcore Metal Gear Solid fan or just a Metal Gear fan in general. Where I'm a little bit more is I'm disappointed. And, you know, to me, it's a damn shame because this is a clear sign that Konami kind of just doesn't get it when it comes to Metal Gear. I mean, obviously, with Kojima gone from the company, that whole series is kind of in a disarray because he was pretty much the mastermind behind a lot of the stuff involving Metal Gear Solid and pretty much all the other games, you know, involving the Metal Gear franchise. With this one, to me, it looks like Konami is just taking something, okay, taking the IP because obviously they're trying to profit on their IP. You know, that's just the nature of the business and stuff. And they're just seeing what sticks. Like, it sounds to me like, you know, in one of their meetings and such, somebody that was like an executive's like, oh, people like zombie games, right? Well, what about that Call of Duty Zombies? People buy Call of Duty every year. They play that and stuff. It probably just was like, you know what? Let's involve that into Metal Gear. That's exactly what it looks like to me or whatnot. And it does kind of suck because, like I said before, Metal Gear is not Call of Duty Zombies. Metal Gear is not a franchise I feel like, you know, that would actually work with. Like, again, meshing those two ideas. This isn't like on the same way where we had in previous Metal Gear games where we had those mini games where you had like Ape Escape kind of like injected into the stuff and it was kind of random but it was kind of goofy and fun, or the same thing with like Monster Hunter injected into Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. This isn't the same thing like that. This is a whole full game based around the idea of a gimmick for the most part, or at least a goofy kind of like random kind of like, you know, idea that they just hope kind of, you know, sticks to the wall with some people. But that's just my thoughts on it. Gary, you had something to say?
Hold on, I gotta jump in real quick because I'm sorry, Gary. I'm still pissed off. Okay, so you're gonna announce this pachinko game first, right? Which is already an insult. Like you're taking one of the greatest games of all time and making it a fucking pachinko game. Then you release this shit? Come on, man. Really, Konami? Like that is so fucking insulting, man. It really is. Sorry, Gary. I just had to say that real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, Gary.
Oh, that was fine. I love hearing Tony run about it. But yeah, like I just hate that, you know, this series, this IP that we love, Metal Gear, is now reduced to another zombie game. Like I hate that everything has to have a zombie iteration. Like I'm so tired of the whole zombie craze. And like, what was that at the end of the trailer? Because it looked like it was going to be a Metal Gear, like
a zombie Metal Gear. I thought I was
the
the only
only
one
There's going to be
who
a
thought
zombie
that.
Metal Gear.
Are we
I
really
swear
going
to
to
God, I
have
thought
a
I was the only
zombie
one who
Metal
thought that. I was
Gear?
like, seriously?
A zombie Metal Gear.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, it's really stupid. And if it's stuff, just looking at just taking everything in from the trailer like that, it just looks really stupid. It looks like something I'm not gonna want to play. Removing myself from the hyperbolic like feelings and emotions of being a Metal Gear fan, just looking at it at face value like that, it just does not seem appealing to me whatsoever. But Manny, you had something to say?
Nah, I mean, I was just pretty indifferent to it all. I was just like, all right, whatever. I'm already, you know, the way I see it is that if I'll see what it is. I'm not. The thing is like I'm not angry. I'm not whatever. I'm just like you know. I just see it as them just trying to kind of do it's kind of change the narrative. It's trying to go the different direction because obviously the comparison with Kojima will happen. So I do think though that this game does probably use a lot of the stuff that they've already used for a Metal Gear line, and I think the thing about this game is that it's not gonna be narrative driven. I think it's definitely gonna be a lot more gameplay driven. It's gonna just be like we throw these established AI things at you. You know what I mean? Like it's almost gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be like Metal Gear with a monster skin on it.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm with you on that one. Or like what is it? Left 4 Dead, kind of.
Yeah, well,
it's Metal Gear's Left 4 Dead, basically.
It'll be like, okay, you already have all these different things in the game already that already attribute themselves to zombies. You have the programming for all the people that are taken over by parasites. They kind of acted zombified. Then you have the higher level version of those monsters, which are the skulls. You also have normal enemy AI. So that's what I'm thinking you're going to be dealing with. You're going to be dealing with all the archetypes from Metal Gear Solid 5 just reskinned in this kind of apocalyptic twisted swirly world.
Alternate universe, yeah.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know. I mean, it's I don't even to be honest, I don't even consider this really part of anything. I think it's just a jumping
spin-off.
Yeah, it's a spin-off. It's almost the same in the same lines. If you want to say not portable ops.
Acid.
You can talk about Metal Gear Acid, or you want to talk about Metal Gear Ghost Babel, which are just alternate universes. Because there's nothing in this. This is in general, Metal Gear games are crazy, but this is already. We're already talking like monsters. We're talking about it's literal monsters.
It's a gimmick. It's a gimmick.
It's a total gimmick. I just want to quickly give the other side of this, right? Because some people are actually pretty kind of excited about this, or at least mildly excited. I want to give a quick shout out to our Mr. Charles Singletary, who actually had a thing going on Twitter, and he seems pretty positive about it. If you don't mind, I'm going to read off some of his tweets. He goes, I don't know if I'll be buying it again, but this is actually a smart move on the development team's part. You likely don't have the chops to continue a story as deep, psychotic, and ultimately interesting as Kojima could craft. So take that brand you still have, but step outside the constraints of the previous narrative as best you can, and having it come during the destruction of Mother Base is a nice touch, in my opinion. I'm actually pretty interested in the characters having to survive this situation. Reminds me of the anime High School of the Dead. So if gameplay stands up, I may check it out. It looks like the zombies are basically skulls, so that'll be tough to mess up. I know there's a lack of purity considering Kojima birthed this, but I really thought Konami was just going to use the brand for a pachinko. There are still developers earning a check there, so let's keep an open mind. The trailer was not bad as much as I'd hoped it'd be. All right, so that's the other take.
That's not really well, and it's not that's a take that's not really that far from what I've been saying. I mean, I agree with him. Or it's like we're just taking the narrative. They're closing that. They're using the old narrative as a slight jumping off point to kind of put themselves into a different sort of space. It's going to be, no matter what these guys do, it's going to be scrutinized. Even if they decided to do another Snake game. My idea, for anything new for them was to try to reclaim something from the past, like take something and remaster it. But in this they're just trying to going to a whole different direction.
Yeah, but you gotta admit, it still seems pretty slimy to do this way,
Here's the thing about that, and I think I understand that logic. What Charles
was the real release date on this again?
2017.
Yeah, 2017. Yeah.
2017.
Here's the thing. Like you also got to understand. Also, you realize that this might have also started happening as
Kojima was leaving.
Yeah,
as
that's what JJ
Kojima
was saying
leaving.
before. Yeah.
That because this wasn't done just like last month or whatnot. I think obviously this took time to make and time
It
to
takes
produce
time to
and
make,
such.
but it takes time to make. But at the same time, all of the gameplay aspects of Metal Gear already exist. And if you apply some of the things that were added to Metal Gear Online, you kind of have this game.
True, a lot of recycling going
So
on.
so essentially, there's a lot of recycling that's happening. We already have. I mean, they've already proven that they can create environments relatively quickly. A lot of the assets in the game are probably all assets that we've seen in Metal Gear Solid 5. You know, like buildings. You know, in fact, one shot they show friggin' the new mother base, like all smashed up and something like that. So I definitely think that they are that the way this game, the reason why it seems like it's such a short, such a short amount of time is because all this stuff already pretty much exists. And I think, I'm not sure if I said this yet, I also think that the characters are not what you think they are. I don't think the characters that you see in the trailer are the characters you actually play. I think the characters are going to take a lot from the Metal Gear Online space, where you're creating your own character, because I feel like the characters look a little bit too generic for what they are. You know.
Oh, you mean like you have like the archer and the other guy?
Yes,
I
think they're archetypes. I think the four of them are the four different aspects of Snake when you put on different bits of armor. There's a light guy. It's like the archetypes in Metal Gear Online. There's the light, fast guy, stealthy guy. There's the friggin' heavy. There's the stealth person, and then there's somebody else. So I'm thinking that's what they're going with. They're going with the four archetypes of Metal Gear Online, and the characters are essentially Metal Gear Online-ish characters where you got to create them, and you get or earn new equipment or buy find new equipment.
Yeah, here's my thing, like, because I agree with what Charles said about it being a good idea to kind of do their own thing instead of trying to follow on from what Kojima did. But my thing is that I just feel like the approach is lazy, and it just seems like they're rushing this out just because they have the assets readily available. Like they just want to rush this out just for the money, basically.
Yeah,
and this is the thing.
Just to jump on that real quick, because you're right. Like the smart thing to do is to actually do something completely different. But like you said, Gary, why do it in the most generic way possible? A zombie game, as if we don't have enough of those. I realize that there's skulls and stuff in the game, but those encounters are very few and far between. There's just an entire game of that. That's going to get very, very boring very quick.
I think it's going to be. I think, like I said before, I think it's not only going to be skulls. I think it's going to be the three different archetypes that you bump into in Metal Gear Solid 5. So you have regular soldiers that you're against, which they've shown in the trailer. You have those zombie parasite soldiers, which kind of walk around and jump on you and shit. And then you have the skull ones. That's what I think the game is mostly going to be built on.
And, of course, a zombie Metal Gear.
And a zombie Metal Gear.
Here's the thing that I want to put to you guys and I think is important.
Metal Gear.
This is the thing I want to bring to you guys that I think is important. I understand the logic, and I get what Charles was saying, I get what you guys are saying and stuff, but someone like me, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people out there, don't want something like that. Obviously, we all knew that the Metal Gear Solid series, or just the Metal Gear series in general, was going to continue after Kojima. Okay, when like Konami was going to do something with it afterwards. We were kind of displeased about the whole pachinko thing, when we saw that pachinko machine that was just titled Big Boss, but we got it and such. Essentially, no matter how you feel about it being a pachinko machine, it's still essentially Metal Gear at its core, and it's still presenting Metal Gear Solid 3 at its core. But here's the thing about this one, okay, with Metal Gear Survive. Nothing about this that I look at, outside of it being like really cinematic in its presentation and stuff,
says Metal Gear.
Metal Gear to me. And if I had a choice and the lesser of two evils, I would have rather just Konami just ride the coattails of the previous games with the license and just make pachinko machines and just put them out like that and essentially still keep it as Metal Gear rather than try it for it to be something that it's not. because being a zombie game and having all these archetypes like what you keep mentioning, Manny, and stuff like that, that's something that I see in other games like Call of Duty Zombies, like Left 4 Dead and stuff. This is not Metal Gear. Metal Gear is not that. And I get, the company's going to do what they want with their IP. They're going to always try to do new things, and they're always going to try to want to make money off of whatever type of characters or series or franchise that they have. But for someone like me, and again, someone out there that might be just a Metal Gear fan that loves the games or just loves enjoying them and is probably going to dive into whatever they can like that, I don't think this is something that they wanted. I don't think this is something that really appeals to them. And I don't think that this is something that a lot of people are really going to enjoy when it actually comes out, even with the most open of minds, to the gameplay and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's going to be a shallow experience. So, like, people play this and a week later will be done with it. It's not going to be anything deep. You already know that, I agree with you. Like anybody who buys it, who may actually be excited for it, will buy it and then just be done with it, because it looks extremely forgettable.
It just looks like I said earlier, it just looks like Konami doesn't get it. Konami is just doing exactly whatever they're doing now with the series or the franchise, the IP, seeing what sticks to the wall and seeing how they can make a quick buck. That's clear as day at this point, like doing something like this. Because if they were really about like actually going to the series and actually doing their own thing with it, they would have at least looked and understood what was like so special about those series of games, even though they already should know because they
don't care about that.
They don't care about that. They just care about making money and stuff. But I mean, like I'm on board with what Manny said earlier. Going back to like an older game and remastering it, like redoing or reimagining Metal Gear Solid 1 or 2, or Metal Gear 1 and 2. I'm sorry.
I always said the one that they should actually do is Metal Gear Ghost Babel. It's the one Metal Gear game that's a really great Metal Gear game, and it was not created by
Kojima didn't do.
Yeah, Hideo Kojima did not direct.
Yeah,
and it was done by some of the people who made made the Metal Gear games, but it was something that was really well done, and it was by somebody else. And I feel like you take a game like that, a game that people aren't exactly familiar with, but it still has the DNA of the Metal Gear series. That I think that would have been a better choice to do. But I also feel like for this situation, it's kind of a situation when they want to really get something out, which is a little weird. Like rather than let it sit for a little while. I mean, it's literally going to be a year after Hideo Kojima left, right?
Yeah, almost.
Yeah, roughly, give or take.
Roughly,
2 years after Hideo Kojima left, it's going to be.
Yeah,
like a year and a half or something. I would have taken it a step further.
1 year. That's what makes it worse. Yeah.
I would have taken it a step further, like what you said.
It should have been. It really should have been. It should have been some sort of remake, and then it should have been something new to kind of something whatever they wanted to do, something new that they wanted to preface it. It's like, okay, we've shown you that we can make a really cool Metal Gear game that's from the past. Now let's show you what we can do with the future.
And that would have made more sense. To be honest with you, it would have made more sense, or at least, okay, give something somewhat familiar, okay? I would have even gone further back and gone to the MSX of Metal Gears, like either Metal Gear 1 or Metal Gear 2, Snake's Revenge, and do something like that and totally reimagine and make a remake of that game in 3D using that engine.
That would also be a great thing, too. The thing is, the one thing about the Fox engine is they have all of this stuff in there. All you really need to do is build the environments. Build the the new characters. And a lot of this stuff is already inside of the system already. Like they've shown how quickly they can make environments and trees and shit. So you make a base, and you just essentially what you do is you have trigger points. It's like, okay, hey, this is going to happen here. And it's not. You could do something. Yeah, you could definitely do a Metal Gear 1 off of this. That would have also been a great idea too.
Let me clarify something. I don't want another Kojima-produced game. Like, I get it. Kojima's gone. He's done. He's not coming back to come. He's not going to make another Metal Gear. What I'm saying is build upon already a franchise that's already established because people know Metal Gear and they already associate with that so much. Play off of that, but then try to implement something new. Doing like what they're doing now, I get it's somewhat of a similar idea with this because it's like an alternate path based off of Ground Zeroes and like the events of that and such. But I feel like, again, there's already such a bad taste in everybody's mouth with everything that's happened at this point and the way and the direction that this is going, which is clearly straight up just not Metal Gear, that this is the wrong approach to things. Like, this is why I say go back to the MSX and totally reimagine it, but try different things with it, even though it's already something that's kind of like already built as a blueprint.
It's like you guys said, do something that honors the franchise first, like that at least gives people faith. Like, okay, Konami can do this without Kojima. It doesn't have to be like, I mean, Ghost Babel would have been nice as a remake, but do something along the lines of Metal Gear first, right? You establish that you can do something like that, then you just do stupid, crazy shit like this, right? But don't do this on the heels of that pachinko nonsense. That's my thing. It's like you can't just throw shit like that at people, Look at them, like I said, the dislikes prove it all,
I also think that this game is not just a plain zombie game. I think it's a Dark Souls clone.
I don't know if I got that sense when I saw the trailer. I think it's more Left 4 Dead and Call of Duty Zombies than anything else.
I don't think everything is going to be running at you like in Call of Duty Zombies. I think it's going to be a slower paced sort of game like Dark Souls, where essentially you just have these things placed in different locations. You have different things, and then you have your boss. Because I feel like if we're just going to be killing hordes, why and include stealth at the same time, that doesn't make any sense to me, especially in the world of Metal Gear. A slower paced game like Dark Souls does make sense within the Metal Gear gameplay. So I think that I think that's what the 4-player thing is. The 4 players are the archetypes, and then it's applied to this kind of twisted reality world.
Yeah, but I didn't like Jay said. I didn't get that from the trailer. What I think they're going to do is, it's just going to, because the thing, just keep this in mind, right? They say this is going to be a stealth game, but remember the Metal Gear Revengeance also said it was going to have stealth elements too, and we saw how that played out, right? So I'm not even buying. It was like based off this trailer, I'm not buying the whole stealth thing at all.
I still think it has the stealth thing, but I think it'll be a more liberal version of stealth.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think you get it at all.
I think it'll be
yeah. Go ahead. No, I was just saying. I was telling JJ before the show. If they do stealth, I think it might be like the last of Us stealth, where you just sneak up on zombies sometimes. But that's as far as it's going to go. It's going to be a run and gun game.
I think, like I said, I think it's going to be Dark Soulsy, because I mean, Dark Souls also does have a version of stealth. If you are able to get around some of the enemies, they won't see you. They don't attract to you until they see you. So I think that's the way the game is going to work, where it has that stealth element, but it has this, action-y thing too.
I get it. I still think it's a bad idea. I think it's a terrible approach. Like as your first game, after post Kojima. To be honest, they could have actually named the game something totally different, and I think people would have not reacted as badly to it. Too. Probably.
If it wasn't connected to Metal Gear at all, if this was just called Survive, right, and it just shows these people getting sucked into another dimension, I don't think that. I think the connection to the Metal Gear series is already what gets people pissed about it.
And I think they know that, and I think that's why they probably did this outside of that, because obviously it's the franchise, it's the name that's going to attract a lot of people.
Yeah, it's the recognizable
name. But still, I think it's a terrible idea. Let me kick it over to Gary. Gary, you had any thoughts on all this?
No, regarding the name that Manny brought up, the name and stuff. Like I was thinking, is there a reason why it's Metal Gear and not Metal Gear Solid now? Like, or am I reading too deep into that?
Like, I don't know. I think it's a valid question, but I don't think we really got any answers.
It's the reason why Metal Gear Revengeance is not called Metal Gear Solid Revengeance. It's to build that difference.
You think it's just the fact that maybe Solid Snake isn't not in it, so you can't call it Solid? Maybe that's it. I don't know.
No, because Revengeance was originally called Solid, but they changed it originally.
Yeah, it was called. It was Metal Gear Solid Rising.
Yeah, I think it's a valid question though. Like, why get rid of that?
I think the reason why is just to kind of build that difference. It's a spin-off game. Definitely is a spin-off game, and that's why they removed the Solid off of it. So, yeah. Metal Gear S.
Yeah, Metal Gear BS, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it's a terrible idea, and I know everybody's gonna have their opinions. Again, there's a lot of talk about this now. Again, since it's just fresh off today, it'll be interesting to see what that trailer like and dislike ratio it is by the end of the day. To see the reactions and the comments, and the comments, just to see like what it's like and stuff. But let's get some final thoughts on here. Let me go down the panel. Gary, let's start with you. Final thoughts on Metal Gear Survive.
Yeah, I think it's a real lazy attempt to, cash grab, basically. They just put this out because they've been developing it for a while now. So, This is just a lazy attempt to get some cash off of the Metal Gear name, and I'm not okay with that. I mean, I'm sure there will be people that are looking forward to trying it and who are genuinely interested in it, and I'm not knocking that at all. But me personally, I'm kind of done with Metal Gear now that Kojima's not really behind it.
I get you. So, Tony, final thoughts. Metal Gear Survive. What do you think?
I mean, my echoes kind of, my thoughts echo Gary right there. Like, I think this is a horrible idea. I think not only is it disrespectful to the franchise, I think it's disrespectful to the fans, right? Because Konami is showing once again that they just don't care. They just, they're like, okay, you guys like Metal Gear, right? You don't care what it is as long as it has Metal Gear on it, right? They think we're a bunch of chumps. We're gonna buy into this. So, you know what? I probably shouldn't be doing this as a writer in this franchise, but I'm gonna do it. Don't give Konami your fucking money. Don't buy this thing. It's fucking terrible, I mean, look, by the way, I just need to do this right now. The video now is currently at 5,000 likes and 28,000 dislikes, But yeah, this game, terrible, terrible idea. It's going to suck. It's going to be shit, so don't buy it.
Manny, final thoughts. Metal Gear Survive.
Hey,
one word answer. I'm good. That's funny. Really? That's it? Just
I mean, that's what I think. It's just I'm really indifferent with it. It just doesn't spark any rage. It doesn't spark any really anything. It's kind of just like it's a flat line. It's like that's about it. I wish I could be. I just don't see anything.
Funny, but yeah, I echo a little bit of like what you guys said, and I can understand Manny's indifference again from what I see like on social media now. Ever since the trailer first came out, again, it'll be interesting to see like what that like dislike and comment section is going to be like by the end of the day. But I think it's also going to be interesting as we get more closer to 2017 and we start to see more about what this game is. So hopefully, by the time we see the first gameplay of this, like maybe we get some a little bit more detailed opinions and thoughts on it and such. But I think it's a terrible idea. This is not Metal Gear to me. This is something that shows that Konami clearly doesn't understand their IP, clearly doesn't understand the franchise, doesn't understand the fan base, and has no sense of direction with Metal Gear as a whole. So overall, that's going to do it for this episode of the React Podcast. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Don't forget to leave us a like and a comment on this video, guys. Again, subscribe to the Koalition YouTube channel when you can. Check out all the content we got on thecoalition.com, as well as all our other podcasts we got coming very soon. Big shout out to everybody that's been showing us support, obviously also on the Patreon. Any final shout outs that you guys might have? I'm going to open up the floor to all of you on the panel. So any other final shout outs before we wrap it up?
Yeah, shouts to everyone who was in the live chat. I saw Charles in there, Kennedy, LTW26, KQ, Bubba Boss Anglers, and Blackstar. Shouts to all you guys.
Any other final thoughts final shout-outs from you, Tony, Manny? Any other final shout-outs?
Can I give an unshout-out to Konami for this nonsense? Like,
they can hold that L, right?
Yeah, hold the deepest L, the heaviest L possible. But no, give a shout-out to the fans, obviously, for joining us today in the live chat. I saw some nice, robust chatting there. I also want to give a quick shout-out to Jeffrey Wilson, who was in the chat real quick, and my man LTW26, who actually agree with you a lot on this, Manny. So, yeah. Good stuff, guys. Thank you.
Oh yeah. By the way, one shout out we'd like to do is we'd like to thank everybody for subscribing to the Throwdown channel. We've just hit 500 subscribers, which is awesome. Cool. Thanks a lot, guys.
Very cool.
Shouts Luigi Toro.
Yeah.
Shouts Luigi Toro. Okay. But yeah, thank you guys for checking out this episode of the React. We will talk to you again real soon. Peace out. Stay epic, everybody.
Later, guys.